It's a Ryzeal build with Mitsurugi, but also has a Fiendsmith package in there too.
Well, you said we're going to start.
I do want to say something about Blue Eyes. When we were looking at some of the pairings leading up into this round, we did see a handful of Blue Eyes decks that were still undefeated. So he isn't the only Blue Eyes duelist who is 4-0 today. There's at least a couple others.
I feel like that one of the strength of Blue Eyes is that, I mean, based on the rating you gave, lower expectations. You probably will run into it once or twice, but it really has fallen off of the priority for a lot of duelists, so I feel that it can be difficult to prep into it if you don't think a lot of people will be on it. But we already have a couple of cards activated here, or at least one. Pre-preparation of Rites, very strong starter.
Yep, it's going to add a Mitsurugi ritual spell. I believe it's Mitsurugi Mirror, and along with the Habakiri. Now, Habakiri effect is going to activate to summon the Saji from the deck to the field, and then it's going to be tributed off, and he's going to be able to add a Mitsurugi card from the deck to the hand.
So one thing that we've been seeing recently with some of these Mitsurugi Ryzeal packages is if your opponent's playing pre-preparation Rites, it's usually an indicator that they've cut some cards like maybe a potential cross from the main deck, and we actually see that that's something that Santiago's doing, which is just an important thing to understand so that when Duo Drive hits the field, it's not threatening cross. If you've been paying attention to some of the deck construction decisions that a lot of players have been making leading up to this weekend.
And it's interesting because Santiago has 3 different engines essentially in the deck, but still 42 card list, so very, very lean.
Right, you have to make cuts somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, now this is the standard play we've seen a lot of times. The Mitsurugi ritual is going to summon the Habakiri from hand. The Kusanagi is going to add back the Mitsurugi ritual, and the Night Sword Serpent is going to special summon itself to the field. And now it's time to use the Mitsurugi ritual to summon from the deck. You can use it to summon from your hand and from the deck each once per turn.
And no response from Matthew yet. So now that this is on the field, you can always use it to try and make your opponent at least pitch another card if they're going to try and interact with you.
It's interesting. Blue Eyes is typically a deck that plays one of the hand interactions that kind of ebbs and flows in popularity, a card that we don't see in a lot of other strategies, Effect Veiler, just because it's a level 1 tuner.
Yeah, it's a quasi-starter.
Yeah, and you can also just like add it to your hand with Sage of the Eyes of Blue or Wishes.
And I will say Blue Eyes, in my experience, I played a lot of this ahead of the Team YCS in Vegas, where I competed playing Blue Eyes Primite. It's much better going first. It can be difficult going second unless you have something like a Drill Beam in your opener, in which case you actually can try and play through a lot of stuff. But
and now
it could be difficult.
Now we're seeing the bridge into the Fiendsmith package, sending those other 2 monsters you had to the graveyard. Link Summon Moon of the Closed Heaven, which leads into Fiendsmith Requiem. Requiem's going to tribute itself off the field that summoned that Lacrima. The Lacrima sent to the engraver to the graveyard. Lacrima got equipped with the Requiem to turn into Necro-equipped Princess. The engraver summoned himself back from the graveyard, so now he has 2 level 6s to overlay for DDD Highway King Caesar, which is something I want to point out. You mentioned a lot of the decks that are using Mitsurugi, Ryzeal, and Fiendsmith opted to opt out of using Ryzeal Cross, but that might be because they have that access to that rank 6 in Highway King Caesar to deal with things like Nibiru.
Yeah, they both kind of overlap in what their functionality is. In that pre-preparation, sort of indicated that might be one of the decisions that was made leading into this event, but we do see there are still ways, as you just mentioned, of playing around Nibiru in the main deck.
And now that means that a lot more confidence for Santiago to just spam out these level 4s. This is what Ryzeal does. This is what the deck is built to do, and it very much excels at that. And so far, still no interaction for Matthew. I'm looking at what he's shuffling through his hand. I see at least a True Light in hand. There's a lot of one-ofs in Blue Eyes that you don't really want to draw in that opener, especially going second. I can't quite make out the others. It looks like a Maiden, maybe a Wishes. Yeah, so
kind of a benefit with you're able to discard the True Light with the Wishes, and then you get access to Maiden of White and be able to place it from the graveyard. Not too bad.
Just hope your opponent's not on DD Crow. That's what I'll tell you.
Definitely. You don't want to lose access to that 1 copy of True Light. But now, going into IP Master of the Ice, and the 2 Ryzeal monsters are linked away into IP Mask Arena. That's pretty interesting.
So had not been locked into Xyz yet. Likes to pick this up. I think it's incredible if you can make the IP before you lock yourself, because yes, you can still have a strong board, but IP being able to quick link away on your opponent's turn and then have that be non-destructible, or it can't be destroyed by card effects, very, very powerful.
You can see with the speed that Santiago's playing, he definitely came into this tournament prepared. And starting 4-0, that's difficult in any tournament, especially at a tournament like the NAWCQ, where you're playing against some of the best of the best.
I think I've played in 10 NAWCQs. I've never started 4-0. There's always that one event I just couldn't start 4-0.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
Joe.
Yeah. Sorry. It's hard to do that in this at the same time. But
So we saw an overlay for Dugaris. Dugaris got to draw Santiago some cards, and now Node Ryzeal is going to come down, sending the Dugaris to the graveyard to special summon back Sword forward Ryzeal.
Thin out the deck of a lot of those Ryzeal names, so hopefully what you're drawing with the Dugaris is going to be, you know, your interactions from the hands. Got the Eclipse Winds under the detonator. This is a fierce-looking field.
Set the fort.
Set 3.
Oh no!
Tough start here for Matthew.
Okay, let's see what you got, Matthew.
I'm going to concede.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He's going to go to the concede phase. As Asala would say, you know, he's out there doing
but gets to go first. Very slim Blue Eyes deck as well. This is a 40-card build, which typically when you have these cards, you don't want to draw. You feel okay expanding that number just so that you limit the possibility of drawing that. But Matthew, confident in the Blue Eyes deck, and say, nope, I'm going to play the lean build. And just a set pass.
Yeah, Mulcharmy Perilla coming down. It doesn't look like Matthew had any cards to summon from the hand anyway, and he's just going to pass.
He does have a Droll and Lockbird in hand. It looks like there was the Mausoleum. I'm trying to really deduce from this angle.
But it looks like you're right. Playing, you know, a low count in your deck, 40 cards, the odds of drawing those cards you don't want to draw
it
does
really
go
goes up. If you do the math, ooh, Harpy's Feather Duster hits, and it's a Solemn Judgment sided.
Could have used it there, but it would have been a little foolish.
And he just passes back.
Oh,
we have a fair game. We have a fair game on our hands. Another Brillia.
Wow.
Will it be another pass?
Ash Blossom.
All right, we have an Ash Blossom and
Battle
Joy Spring
phase.
this time.
The last turn, we didn't have anything to do.
I'll normal summon Sage with Eyes of Blue and
Nice.
Effect.
That's a good one. Does it resolve? It's going to add a level 1 light spellcaster from the deck to the hand. But there's an infinite experiment.
And this is the thing. If the Ryzeal deck passes back, it probably has a lot of interaction from the hand here. The nice thing about Blue Eyes, though, you can keep playing. Even if this gets hit, you can go into your Link 1, the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, which
I will not be using
one of my favorite, you know, Link 1s in the game right now. I like to call it Baby Blue, but that's just me. That's just me.
But already has the Mausoleum of Light, so not getting any extra value here. But the Mausoleum of Light will be activated, targeting the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, send down the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Greasy attack.
You can at least get a 3,000 attack Blue Eyes on the field. The classic, the original. And then you can hit for a lot of damage here. That might be all that Matthew's doing with this turn, though.
I'll declare effect.
Yep, so he's going to use the effect, tributing off the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, bringing back a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard. And it looks like we're going to battle phase, and it's going to be a White Lightning attack directly.
Do you think he's running the spell White Lightning attack? No.
First Stream of Destruction?
Oh, you're right. It isn't called White Lightning. I always just call it that, but
like
it is First Stream of
anime,
Destruction. Yeah, you're right.
But it's the same thing. We all know what it is.
Targeting.
Okay, but he does have a Bestial Magnum in hand, so all hope not lost. So, but he opted to save it and not banish the Blue Eyes just to make sure that the Magnet would be on the field here for him and not get run over.
Yeah.
I guess it still seems interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, so you could have done it when priority comes back to you or during an open game state before the Spirit activates the effect of some of the Blue Eyes from the graveyard, but once it does use the effect, there's no monster on the field, no longer a quick effect for the Bestial. Either way, in the end phase, gets you to the Druid Swarm, and this is at least going to be into the Fiendsmith cards because Druid Swarm can clear with the Blue Eyes, and then you can link, or like summon it and then link into the Moon and Close Heaven and kind of go from there.
That's correct.
It's interesting how many games we've watched this weekend where Bestial Control has kind of been the secondary game plan of some of these decks.
Well, it's always viable, which is the nice thing. I love the Bestial cards. So fantastic. And here we go. So the normal summon Night Sword Serpent is the same thing. You just need 2 effect monsters, and now you have a Light Fiend, which goes into a Requiem. So we're getting into the Fiendsmith engine of the deck now. So it doesn't seem like he drew Ryzeal cards, unless it's something like an X maybe, just because of the fact that we normal summoned the Night Sword Serpent.
Yeah, definitely. And seeing how he passed on the previous turn probably doesn't have too much in the tank, but at least he's able to get something on the field. Neither of these players playing with a lot of proactive cards or the cards that are the best in their deck, but doing what they can with what they have. But the Requiem is going to equip to Lacrima, and now the Engraver is going to be summoned back.
Thinking on here.
He could go into Caesar. I don't know if he plays something like Chaos Angel potentially.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have the best
Nibiru,
protection, but Nibiru is coming down.
This is the time to do it.
Is he at 5 summons?
Actually, I don't think...
It's the Serpent, Requiem, Lacrima, Engraver.
Okay. Yes. So I believe if you don't go into the Moon, then you have to wait till the Necroquip to be that 5th summon. But we do have it here. That means that the Necroquip line is still live. But he didn't want to have the Fiendsmith Engraver send the Requiem to destroy the Blue Eyes, just in case.
My girlfriend turned into the Moon once. It was very upsetting. But anything can turn into Moon and really bridge you into the Fiendsmith line here, as we saw. But Nibiru is going to stop the Fiendsmith moves right in their tracks.
Yeah. It's a big token.
That is
Big
correct.
token, which is like, it comes up a lot of times if it's too big for Nibiru to deal with, and you're like in a lower game state with not a lot of cards. Sometimes not being able to get that token off the field can be tough.
It also, though, can give you a monster that you can talents and attack for game, as we saw yesterday.
Oh, that was pretty epic.
So I believe
phase.
it was just Engraver and Lacrima. So 1800 attack plus the 1200 is 3K, and then the 24 defense with 12 is 36, if my quick math is correct. So the Nibiru cannot just get over this one token, essentially, when it's in
gonna
defense
need
mode.
something else.
Surprised you didn't put it in attack mode then, so that you could at least crash.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
Plus
okay,
the blue eyes,
so
yeah.
it's 3K
Plus the blue
more.
eyes.
You're right.
Plus the blue eyes.
So it's 6,000 attack.
My quick
and-
math was wrong.
Huge.
Another reminder to always trust the
60
teacher.
points.
Thank you, Joe.
No problem.
Draw phase, standby May phase.
All right, so it looks like we're going to see a normal
Ether
summon.
barrel to
Finally,
kill.
the Primite engine is going to be online.
The best normal summon in the Blue Eyes deck. We are now playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's go, Matthew.
Item response.
Yep, Ether Barrel is going to set Primite Lordly Load.
I love asking
Octave
any
Overload?
response to the Ether Barrel setting because there's really no cards that would respond to that. It gets through Droll.
Primate Drill Beam?
You now search the Drill Beam. Maybe Droll would come down, but at this point, it's kind of too late.
And this is where you want to be. You want to be able to set the Lordly Load so you can have the Drill Beam in hand to be able to use on your turn and then be able to reset it again.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Blue Eyes deck, or really any deck with the Primites, once they whittle down the resource of the opponent, they can just grind them out through that.
Yeah, because it's just the cards just kind of keep returning onto the field. And Primite Dragon Ether Barrel is a level 4 or lower dragon, so you'll be able to link that away into Spirit with Eyes of Blue.
We'll go effect.
Special.
Yes.
Gonna try.
So we have the Druisworm in hand. We could use it here.
Thinking.
Sure.
The interesting thing is that Lordly Load can still summon a Blue Eyes from the deck then, with the second effect. And then you can still try
I have
and
no
play
response.
from there. But here we go. I think this is a pretty good time to use it. You're getting rid of one of the threats in the graveyard.
That token still being a problem.
Yep. And this Nibiru, famously not a dragon, so it would be tough to link it away, depending on the build of the extra deck that Blue Eyes has. A lot of Blue Eyes players have moved past things like the Lina into Serene into Access Code kind of climb.
I'll have to go to the battle phase.
It's instances like this where that's
I'll
super
tackle
helpful,
the
though.
Druisworm.
Looks like just going to battle to clear out the
I have no
Druisworm,
response.
and then the Nibiru is going to be sent to the
Attempt to enter
graveyard.
main
Takes the
phase two.
Druisworm.
Activate Primate Lordly Loads effect. Call Blue Eyes White Dragon.
So main phase 2, we're going to be summoning the Blue Eyes Red Dragon with Primite Lordly Load.
He did give himself the out of eventually going into Anima by putting the Nibiru in that zone, which is something
True.
that anytime you're playing level 1 monsters, it's really important to do that
If you
with
don't mind,
Nibiru
can I
token.
read Drill Beam just real quick?
Of course. Well,
Already.
Now, it's important here that he summoned the Blue Eyes White Dragon because in order to activate Primite Drill Beam, he will need to have that normal monster on the field or a Primite monster, which in this case, he's going to guarantee it by holding off on using the Lordly Load until main phase
And
2.
a main phase.
End of the main phase.
But, of course, this token can deal with the Blue Eyes White Dragon,
Priority for you.
and then will do
in
anything else.
Sure.
Did
Lack
he-
of
No response.
He proceeded to end phase
Oh, just
Don't
keeps the Drill Beam in
without
hand?
setting the
We'll
drill.
go Drill Beam, target the...
Oh, because he knew he might try and go for it. And since it's in the
Oh.
end, so the end phase you can use the Lacrima effect in the
Yes.
graveyard, but Requiem, however, is restricted to the main phase. So heads up play here
That
from Matthew.
fantastic play from Matthew right there. I actually
be a game-saving
really
play.
like that.
For those of you who played under
ahead.
formats where Fiendsmith was all over the place in just about every deck,
Played
that
right into
Requiem interaction
do
was
you mind
really
just-
important because
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah, sorry.
utilize the effect more than once because it's only
Stand by.
restricted to the
You're good.
summoning.
Yeah.
Certainly is, and then being able to summon in phase.
Wow.
Heads up from Matthew, and heads up. Yeah, just excellent
Ooh.
plays here. But Mitsurugi Mitsurugi Ritual.
I believe there is a Droll and Lockbird in Matthew's hand. If I saw that correctly, I think that's what was there. So maybe you can actually slow this down, but it's not looking great.
But how many other cards are in his hand?
Boy, this
have
might
no
actually
response.
just be enough damage on the field. Because
Yeah,
that
that-
token's huge.
That was an incredible. He had one of these two cards in hand, just needed to draw the other
Yeah.
one to be able to get to where he needs to be.
attack.
Yeah, this is going to be
Yep.
it.
6K.
I'll take it.
And then 32 for you.
You got it.
And that's it. That's game Santiago.